Hello and good day to you, my friend. We have more dragons to be hatching today in DML, and we also have the upcoming week's event schedule ahead. Because don't forget, we have the castle event coming next week. But just before we take a look at the new events, we will be hatching two new dragons today. The first one is going to be Mr. Changeling, which I have had before, but not on this account. But he is, of course, only a rare dragon, but he is part of the Copper Dragon collection, which is why we will be hatching him today. And plus, you know, more dragon collector points and a new dragon in general for the codex. So that is dragon number 2 as part of Divine Metal. So now we need to get the fairy dragon out of the chest, and then we can get Porcelain, who is going to be the Chapter 1 Castle Event Reward Dragon. So Changeling dragons sometimes leave their young with human couples, in hopes that they'll mistake it for a human baby and care for it. Somehow, people can always tell the difference. I mean, if you were comparing this little baby here to a human baby, what possible differences could there be? Born with bright pink eyeshadow on? Actually, is that even eyeshadow or is it eyeliner? I'm asking the important questions. Would it be born with gigantic yellow toenails? Possibly, I guess. Actually, I don't think that is possible for human babies, is it? No, I don't think there is a way. But yes, that description's certainly an interesting one, and I guess I agree. But the thing about Changeling that I've always kind of liked is the fact that Changeling's wings just look like multiple, like, sausage-shaped balloons. You know what I mean? It looks like he would genuinely lift off of the ground without even trying because his wings are just made of balloons. I'm pretty sure I said that the last time I hatched this dragon, and it will always be true because it just looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, Changeling. I love you, but you do look ridiculous, and that's part of your charm. Quite a big dragon as well. So we'll keep him over there for now. And then the other dragon that we have is Mr. Doomsday. I actually got him earlier today. But we finally managed to get Doomsday out of the dungeon chest because, you know, I've been grinding dungeon this week because of, you know, divine stuff happening. But we've got Mr. Doomsday here, which is part of the Dungeon Dragon collection, of course. So, you know, dungeon crawlers, I still have 2 to go. Somehow. You know, I may have done a lot of dungeon in very small sections of time, but generally, you know, I've still got these 2 to go, which means I've never gotten them during their rotation. So people used to think that the Doomsday Dragon was a harbinger of disaster until they discovered it was simply trying to warn people of impending danger. Now, this dragon only spells doom for Vikings. Ah, look at him. I mean, he definitely looks like a big warrior. You know, he may be called Doomsday. He may ruin the life of any person that does dare, you know, fight him. But he's a very dragon-looking dragon. You know, he's the sort of dragon that maybe I'd expect to see in, like, at least in the baby form from, like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings. Maybe an off-brand Skyrim. But, you know, I do like dragons that have armor and clothes and all that sort of thing. But his just looks like naturally inbuilt armor, which I do like. And then his body looks like it's made of magma or some sort of weird chemical thing. I don't know, it looks like it's made of sun. It's made of physical sun. Yes, that's what Doomsday is made out of. Dada the Doomsday. But, you know, I'm happy. We got new dragons, more dragons to add. But we got those 2. We've also got 2 the full dragons, which we might as well hatch. Because, you know, we get season points for it. And, you know, having lots of legendaries, we can always ascend them and get lots of extra legendary materials for, you know, no downside. If you are a newer player that does manage to breed multiple of the full, you might just want to keep them so that they can generate gold in your habitats. But I'm hatching them because I'm currently quite behind in my season pass. Because I've been just keeping my breeding den open in case I need it for cake craze. But, you know, we got lots of stuff. Breed a dragon. Did I? Yes, if I do this, then I'm going to get that quest. That's going to give me the legendary item. That's what I wanted. Lovely jubbly. Now I'm going to breed these two again. We're going to come up and then we'll have more grinding to do. So with it being Friday, like I said, we've got that weekly schedule and we also have Whalemart. And in Whalemart, we've got Dragon Fury Essence and Relics of Breeding. They're useful. I don't suggest buying the tickets and I don't suggest buying the food because if you look at the tickets here, it's times 25 that you get in exchange for 199 gems. Whereas if you just do the dungeon, and for me to get to 2,000, sometimes it might take 2 lots of dungeon, maybe 1 lot of dungeon depending on the quests, then that's just 1 or 2 lots of dungeon skip, which is a lot cheaper than 199 gems. So assuming you've at least done a couple of rounds in dungeon and you have somewhat of a dungeon team, this deal is really bad. And then we've got premium sigil chest times 5 for 399 gems. This is the cheapest bundle to buy if you are going to try and go and get better sigils. But it is quite expensive considering we are in the middle of a divine event. So if you ended up spending this, that would mean 400 gems worth of not grinding for the event currency. So yeah, I'm a little bit iffy on that one. We'd also have weekend events if you haven't logged in yet. Make sure that before you do anything else in game, you take part in the weekend events because you do get, well, 5 tickets, which is really underwhelming. And in the Golden Gatherer, you can get 10, which is also not very good, but better than nothing. So gathering gold and feeding dragons are what you're going to be wanting to do, to be getting at least a couple of additional tickets, which better than 0. But coming back to the upcoming event schedule, it's not a super busy week next week, but we do have the castle event beginning on the 19th, which does mean that, we're going to have a castle event to do. And for anyone that wants Pangu, you'll need to get 100% of the pieces of Pangu for both parts of the event. But my main goal is Mr. Porcelain that we can see. Then we've got Returning Dragon in the Dungeon. We have a Blitz Breeding for a Legendary. And apart from that, not much else. But essentially, in the Divine Dungeon, you can get Bajau Gui, and in the Dungeon Shop is Red Talon, so keep that in mind. And of course, we're also going to have Divine tickets in the dungeon, same as this week. Then, Chapter 1, Divine Party Drama, that's just the castle event stuff. Gold Frenzy, maybe we'll get tickets. Then we've got Blitz Breeding, so race against the clock and use the Full Dragon and Changi to breed the legendary Dark Ice Dragon. So essentially, to breed this legendary, you need a divine, and you need a legendary. So breed a legendary and a divine, what do you get? A legendary? Seems a little bit underwhelming. You'd hope it'd be like an ancient or something, but no. And, a lot of people are opting not to get Chang because, we're going for Longwang and Freya. So it's a little bit of a blitz breeding, to be honest. Then Piggy Bank, bad. Farming Fanatic, got a chef in it. Dragon of the Week is going to be Eagle, which you can get with Smoke and Rainbow. And apart from that, not really any other news to note. But if you do want to go for the Dragon of the Week, you have to be careful because, castle event does require breeding. So if anything, you might need a second breeding den when it comes up. But those are the upcoming events. I do recommend that you don't put in super long food timers, but you probably shouldn't be doing that anyway if you're still progressing in cake craze. And of course, keep grinding in the dungeon, because the more you grind in the dungeon, the more tickets you can get. The more tickets you get, the more potential things you can get. But I guess I will use some more of the tickets that I've collected because I haven't collected too many. Having to do things in the day does really stilt the old dungeon progress. But if we can get our duplicate fairy sometime soon, then I can get hatching that. Plus, I'm still on the elusive hunt for the times 50 talisman. So, that would be great if we can get times 50 today, just to make me feel a little better. Is that a 50? Is that a 50 that I see? I've already got a duplicate. There we go. There's a times 50. There's our 1%. Actually, this was a pretty good set of chests, wasn't it? 50, 10, 10, 10. Okay. I'm not going to complain for a little while. But there's my first 50. Now, I was waiting for a while for it to drop. I was beginning to lose a little bit of hope. But now we're Gucci. Now we're Gucci. I don't really want another duplicate glamour, so I will change that one for another ticket. But like I said, we should be aiming for about 450 plus chests if we want to get one divine. So we're not that far off, all things considered, considering I haven't been grinding super hard and we've got 3 weeks of the event left. But I also don't want to be behind, and I do want to get fairy, so we need to be getting those pieces for fairy. And what are we up to now? 89 with that times 10. That's really useful, which means we're just 11 off. And then the only other dragon left will be porcelain, and that will net us copper. So, you know, if I did have a duplicate fairy from the events before, it would have been nice, but we'll deal with it as and when it comes. And one more ticket. I'm gonna leave the rest of the chests up in the top right there, but another 10, which is lovely. So how many talismans do we have at the moment? We currently have 433 talismans, which would be enough to buy Chang. So technically I could take part in the blitz breeding, but like I said, if all of these dragons are going to stay in the divine altar for 23 days and 16 hours, I'm not going to buy any of them yet. Until I get longwang, at the very least, I don't really want to spend any, but we are a third of the way to 1 divine at the moment. And again, now that I'm up to the higher KO milestones in the dungeon, it's going to be worth me probably gemming a few times, going through it like again and again and again, and trying to grind out while we're at the higher KO milestones. Because if you are going to gem in the dungeon, it's better to do it sooner rather than later, just so that then you can get to the high KO milestones quicker. Also, I did have this pointed out to me, I don't remember who it was, but why would they, in the events section, have a calendar there? It's like, hey, are we going to get a calendar event? No, of course you're not. You scummers. Whoever put that there from Gameloft, I swear. You're just trying to, like, play with people's hearts. It's like, ooh, calendar event, we know you want one. Will we give one? No, lol. Ugh. I only laugh because it's just so painful. Think that people like myself with Mr. Erlang Shen used to be able to just log in during calendar events and get divines. Now what do we have to do? We literally have to like grind the dungeon 7,100 times. But anyway, you know, that's current event stuff in DML with the upcoming events schedule released. Just make sure that you're trying to do all of the parts of the different events that are coming in game, because if not, you're going to end up not getting great value out of the game. And plus, you know, on top of everything, we did have a clan event. I'm glad that we got a little bit of a break now. Actually, should we feed a dragon while we're here? Who should we feed? I know who we can feed. Where is he? Where are you? Where are you? Please take me to you. Take me to God. God, where are you? There we go. Yes, I'm going to spend 8 million on feeding God. That's that one. That's that one. Actually, is that all of them? Oh, either way, we'll get him to 54. There we go. Yeah, that's all of them. So now God is level 54. The mad lad. I did kind of want to save all of this for leveling up Scully, because my Scully dragon at the moment, what level actually is Scully? Scully's at 60. And we need to get him up to, I believe, level 90 to start enchantment breeding. But then at the same time, if I can just add another water dragon to my team, that would probably help me in dungeon. There's a lot of things that we could do. We could level up Frost, we could level up God, we could level up Bobby for the enchantment breeding, we could level up Longwang. Although that would be a lot of divines. I have so many divines going on right now. I've got a lot of divines going on. So yeah, lots of works in progress, lots of plans, lots of things to do, but most importantly, Whale Mart, where is your hot sister? He just like winked at me. Okay, I'm never asking you that question again. Okay, anyway, I better go before Whale Mart starts making moves. So for now, I appreciate you being here. Make sure that you are doing everything in game that you can. Now we've got some promotions, but they're kind of not very good. But, you know, good luck. I hope that you get lots of holy talismans, lots of times 50s, and lots of cool stuff. And until next time, I do hope I can see you then.